First, welcome back to Hi-Fi Tech and Entertainment channel. In this CAPM series, already you guys learned the concepts of basic concepts in SAP CAPM, right? So these are the some of the advanced concepts in SAP CAPM. So in my previous video, already I explained you how to define a data types in our entities, right? So in today's video, what you guys will learn is if you want to extend an entity, how to do. On top of that, how to create a local database and how to deploy that application in your local database. The three things we will learn in today's session. So first, already in my previous video, I created an entity and I used some of the data types. Now here I am going to create one more entity and I will reuse and I will extend this entity. How to do? First, let's create an entity. This is the entity I'm going to here. Here I will maintain some of the properties. So these are the some of the field names I maintain. Now here, if you want to maintain one more extra property, so how to extend this? Just what you need to do is extend your entity name with. That's it. Then whatever the property name you want to add it, you can add it. Now I will add it like some additional field equal to string. That's it. So this is the way we need to extend this property. Here you can see the some additional field is an added to your author domain entity. So this adds this field to generated the database table, and with this extend directive, the metadata such as annotations can also be added to existing definition of existing metadata will be overridden. So just I'll show you how it's working in our metadata screen. Just these things are not required. Then define that author's bookstore dot author. What is the name you define it here? Author. Yes, that's it. Now let's run this service. You guys know how to run the service, right? So same way. First we need to jump into the project. Yeah. Now first step as usual npm install. This one if you already did then not required, otherwise you need to write this command. It is stuck. Just reopen the terminal one more time properly. Here you can see that it's loading. Just load it. Once it will be ready, we will launch the application. Oh, it's disconnected. Let's reconnect this. Just I'm relaunching the bash system, guys. Once it will be ready, I will show you. Yes, now I relaunching. Let's run this now. CDS watch. Now you can see that services with the two data. Yeah, we have authors and we have books. Now let's go to the metadata. In that metadata, if you see, this is the entity fields, whatever fields I defined, and I used the extension. When I used the extension, what it will happen is whatever the fee property added, that property it's concatenated to the existing authors. So that's how we need to use the extend property for the entities. And same way, if you want to use some of the accepts include in your entity, that one is also allowed you. This extension part here, if you want to add it, you can add it. Another way, what you can do is we can create a separate managed another accepts the things also it will use. What is the use of this accepts means this CDS chip will have a pre-built model of SAP CDS common that provides you the common types and accepts to reuse. I mean, if you want to maintain a to get the current data, when it's created, when it's updated, that all things. I think already I explained you that sessions previously. So how it will work is, for example, managed. So if you define this, what it will, these are the inbuilt things it will be there. Act by, this will take the timestamp. Same created by. Here we need to define the user. Next, modified it. So if any updation things will happen, you assume that things will take. So these things already we have predefined things will be there. Just if you maintain this here on top of this annotation, just cds dot on dot insert equal to dollar of now. What it will do is it will take that current one, whatever the timestamp is there, that one will insert to your series annotation things. So when it comes to the type of the user, this is also a common reused type for this common. So if you want to load this, instead of writing this managed, there is another way we can define directly. Here you can define it using braces. Here you can use whatever you want, comma, managed from the path common. So if you control plus click, if you do this, here you can see all the predefined types. If you want to use this language to maintain to your schema entity, you can use it directly. So language, currency, country, time zone. So already in SAP.commons, we have already the translation part, the code list, countries, these things. If you want to reuse directly, you can reuse it in your applications. Now, if I use this, then what it will happen is, then no need to write this at all directly. Just you need to maintain like here. That's it. So it will support it automatically, it will create that ID. This ID will use it directly, automatically it will fill that to that entity. Same way, this managed also. Just you need to use it here. Now, if I want to use that managed here means colon manage. That's it. You can see that these things will support here automatically. Yeah. Now, if you see this application, in metadata, if you see that fields won't be there. But whatever that the created context, that fields will generate automatically while creating the fields. For example, in your post method, if you create that, that fields will come automatically. Now, if I try to use post method, just what I will do is just copy this. Not this one is not required. Then I will maintain some data here. So instead of books, what I need to use is authors. Just maintain that. Yeah. Then field names. If you go to my schema, here already I maintain this, right? Just I will remove this. Then I will create a name. Here I will use both. Yeah. Name equal to some Nandini. Then date of birth. Perfect. Now date of birth. This is the date format you need to maintain. 22/7/1992. That's it. So if you perform this post operation here, so it will automatically generate the ID, and when it's created, that all things it will come now. Let's test it. This host name is wrong. Just maintain that 4004. Yeah, now test it. So it is telling that the format is not valid. We will maintain some proper format. 1992-07-22. Let's retest this again. See, it's created. Now if you see here, automatically that ID is generated and created by, modified at, modified by. If you see these things are automatically generated when we create a post request. So that is the use of inbuilt things of the common use things. So if you want to extend, you can extend it, or if you want to use the in predefined things, just what you need to do is just click on control, click. Then it will show you what are the things you want to use it, that all things you can use it in your application. So no need to separately write all these things again. Then the interesting step is we'll create a local database. So to create a local database, I will show you in my readme file. This is enough to. So when we use this command, what it will do is it will create the local database locally. Already in the CAP, we have a CDS plugin technique is used to integrate a database in an application. So this database plugin or node.js packages that allows the CAPM to connect and interact with this specific database. There is no additional configuration is required for this. So if you use this plugin, the developers can easily switch from one database to another database. If you are using development system, just go for this command to create the database locally. If you are using HANA system, this one, if you use this command, this one will take you for the production database. So if you run this, what it will happen is your data will generate it in your production system. If you run this, it will add your data to the local system. So to see the configurations, we need to use the command. First, let's configure this one to generate a local database. Then we will check it. First, CDS types DB. Sorry, name wrong. DB. Now, npm add @cap-js/ SQLite-d. So it will configure the SQLite. How to check that is, if you go to your package.json, previously this SQL things is not there. Now if you use this command, so it will add that things here. So first what we have to do is to check that configuration, cds add @ Sorry. We need to run cds env cds dot requires.db. So once you enter this here, it will show you the implementation, credentials and kind. If you see here IMPL, this is the module name for the implementation of your CAPM database server, and this is the credentials and object with DB specific configurations and most commonly the URL part. Next one, this is the name of the preset such as SQLite, whether it is HANA system or SQLite system, which system you are using, that things it will generate it here. So that's how now it is ready. So if you want to see that SQL things for setup and also in the device dependencies, once you add that here, you can see this will be generated automatically. So the use of this plugin is it will auto configure an in-memory SQLite database for your application by default. So you can use this in the log output whenever you start your application. Now what you need to do is you need to add this SQL database to your package.json file. For that, here after the script you need to run the CDS part. Oh shit. CDS. Here we need to load that which system it is. I mean for DB system, if you want to maintain two systems, right? That configuration you need to maintain it here. Now I'm maintaining a development system. This is the development system to test application locally. If you have a HANA system with the production system, then maintain this here at the comma with production like that. Kind. For development system, what you want to use it, use that. Next, credentials. Here, URL equal to db dot, that's it. Now this is the way to configure to tell the CAP framework during development. It should use this SQLite database located in the file name of DB SQLite is the root of this project. So now if you run the CDS deploy, what it will do is it will create a database file with the specific name in the root folder of the project. So it will create a tables and the views according to your CDS model of the database. First, maintain some dummy data, add data. Perfect. Here it is. Both are ready. Now I will deploy this. To deploy that, what it will do is it will deploy the application. For that command cds deploy. If you use cds deploy, this automatically schema delete created this one to use this command. Deploy spelling is wrong. Sorry guys. CDS deploy. Correct. If you see, this is successfully deployed your things. Now you can see that the path it here. If you click on right, it will open that in the editor mode. So these two things where it's deployed in your SQLite, it's deployed at. That's how we need to deploy your application in your local database. So whenever if you create a project, what it will happen is if you use this here in the test case, if you do send request, then it will, if you redeploy, this data will store it to your database structure. That's how we can use database internally without HANA system. I think is it clear for you how to deploy and how to extend your entities, both things. In next video, I will explain you the custom event handler methods. So if you like this video is helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching.